So today we're going to talk about power training. We're going to look at kettlebell training, and I'm going to show you some basic Olympic lifting type movements that will help you generate more power. Before getting into kettlebell training, as I mentioned, I'd like to introduce some of the basic Olympic lifts, or Olympic lifting type movements. Training with the barbell is going to teach you the basics of triple extension. That's learning how to, again, like I said, extend from the hips, knees, and ankles in a coordinated fashion. That's the basics of generating power in sport and in dance. You have to learn to fire fast twitch muscle fibers. The progression is from slow and controlled to fast and explosive. Okay, so I'm going to show you first how to do a deadlift properly. From a deadlift, you're going to progress into high pulls, and from high pulls into cleans, and then from there you can build into kettlebell movements. You want a slightly wider than shoulder width grip, feet slightly narrower than shoulder width, neutral spine, head upright, don't look down at the ground or up at the sky, bend at the hips, and a slight bend at the knees, but the main motion is coming from the hips, past the knees, mid-shin, back to full extension. At the top, you're not shrugging the weight back, you're just pushing your chest forward. That's going to bring your shoulder blades together, and that's your finished position. So you're not thinking of using the upper body to bring this up. Your arms are just hooks that happen to be there. Okay, past the knees, nice neutral spine, shoulders back. Okay, from the side, feet narrow the shoulder width, arms wider than shoulder width. You're pivoting at the hip joint, coming forward past the knees. Back nice and flat. Bar stays very close to the body. You're not letting the weight travel out in front of you. Keep the weight right over your feet, close to the body, and then extend, chest out at the top. So you're going to try to keep neutral spine from here. This is your pivot point, right at the hip joint. So this is where you're starting to bend first from here, not from your back. There's no rounding at the spine. Okay, coming forward from the hips, slight bend at the knees, and then back to standing position, chest out, shoulders back. Good. The next step I'll show you right away is deadlift shrug with calf raise. So right up on the toes. Down to deadlift. Up on the toes. Down. Up on the toes. So now you're getting your traps involved, coming up the toes. This is going to become progressively more explosive. Okay? Boom. Almost like jumping with the bar. This would be the next step before introducing a power clean, which you guys probably see a lot of these movements. This is just a high pull. So this is getting the bar to follow through, but understanding that the movement, the power is being initiated from hip extension and leg extension, okay? So we're going to be doing that triple extension of the hip, knees, and ankles, but now we're going to do it in a more coordinated, explosive fashion. So you still come down to the deadlift position we just practiced. Now you're coming up, and the bar follows through. So I'm not doing this. I'm not doing a deadlift and then a high pull, an upright row. I'm doing an explosive follow through from the legs. I'm still coming right up on the toes. The progression from the high pull is the power clean. And the reason we did the progression once again is because I want you to again think of extending fully before you catch the bar. What happens when people just start doing cleans without having that progression is they'll do this. I didn't even straighten my legs, I'm just doing a little hop. People do this all the time. You're not training, you're not getting that extension. You're not training yourself to jump higher. Okay? So we want to do the high pull, but then just catch it at the top. Okay? So it looks like this. You're going to do the high pull and get under it. I'll do it without the dip at the top, so you can see that I'm straightening up. Like that. Coming up on the toes, and catching. Okay? The benefits of kettlebell training is that it's a compound exercise. This involves several muscle groups all at once. So you're going to be using your hips, core, upper body, lower body in a coordinated fashion. So this is not an isolation exercise, which is just working on one muscle group. It's training movement patterns, not muscles. This creates an off-balance weight, so all of the stabilizers have to fire to keep the control of the weight during the movement. Okay, so this is one of the advantages to training slightly destabilizes it, encourages stability. The importance, or the main thing to consider when you do kettlebell swings, as with the other lifts we did, is generating power from the hips. Okay? You're always going to start progressively, not letting the weight pull you out of position. You're going to always control the weight. what's going to happen as you start swinging is every time it comes between the legs, you're going to feel like you want to round out and let yourself cave. You have to use the legs to absorb that swing. So all of this is coming from legs and hips. Okay? And you can see why that involves core once again. Right now I have same positioning, slightly wider than shoulder width. Okay? Feet planted flat, heels on the ground, toes and knees are in alignment. And starting the swing, gradually increasing range, and I'm coming right overhead. Keeping my back flat. Okay, sitting into a squat position, and out of the hole, you want to have your hips and knees parallel, so your femur or your thigh parallel to the floor. You want to try and get at least that deep, and then extend and land back into the jump, the squat position. Okay, jump, land. Okay, you guys can probably get more height than me. The plyo push-up is a basic push-up with an explosive push-up. It's like a clapping push-up, basically. So there's plyo push-up. So you're going to go into a partial squat, dip the legs, and extend forcefully with the legs. So you're again coordinating upper and lower body to propel the weight overhead. Okay? Split lunge jumps. One leg in front, one leg behind, into a lunge position, power up out of the hole, and land in the opposite lunge position. Okay? Excellent. Nice. Boom. Good. Chest out. Head back, chest up for the pull. There you go. Your arms by the side, and ideally alternate arm, opposite leg. One. It's tough. There you go.